I feel like this is a midday musing slash win Wednesday post. I was really proud of myself earlier today. Something happened that typically would have really negatively impacted my mood and kind of left me ruminating and analysis paralysis for an extended period of time. And what happened today is instead is the thing happened. I allowed myself to just feel all the sensations that were happening in my body. I was able to name them. I did still go into analysis mode trying to figure out, well, maybe this and maybe that, and I could look at it this way, I could look at it that way, and on, because that is kind of how I'm wired and also what I do, I guess, as a result. But I didn't stay there for long. I chose a narrative to go with, a story to go with. Said, okay, we're going to go with that. And was able to return back to what I was doing. My mood was not significantly negatively impacted. I was in a pretty good mood before this thing happened. And I was able to return back to that good mood and continue on with, what I was doing. And that feels like it's one of those, like, if it's a big deal. And also, it's such a small thing. It was one little blip, a 10-minute, maybe, if that, time frame over the course of my day. But it was a small win. And I think what I took from it once I sat and kind of thought about it a little bit is that it's really important for us to acknowledge and celebrate our small wins, to really kind of like pat ourselves on the back, especially if it's something that we've been working on for a long time. I feel like sometimes, unless we reach the state of being done, or we reach kind of like our final form on whatever it is that we're working on or working towards, that we won't really acknowledge all the small steps and all the like progress that we're making along the way, because we're not quite there yet. So in this example, I feel like I could have done better with the situation that happened. I know that there is still room for growth. And if I just focused on the fact that I'm not yet where I want to be, and I would have beat myself up about how I responded and how long it took me to get from, point A to point B and all those things, as opposed to being able to celebrate the fact that I did not just go into a whole doom spiral emotionally and have the next, I probably wouldn't let my whole day be ruined. That is also progress for me. My whole day wouldn't be ruined, but have ruined whatever, next period of time would have been ruined because I kind of went into spiral. But because I did not go into spiral and I was able to kind of manage myself and take some steps and still did some analysis, but didn't get lost in it and all those things, it was like maybe a 10-minute, 5-10 minute thing. That's progress, and it's significant, and it should be acknowledged. So I guess the takeaway for this midday musing win Wednesday is that acknowledge your small wins. Acknowledge the teensiest thing that is showing that you're making progress towards your goal or becoming the person that you want to become, or whatever it is. We sometimes, I think, or I wouldn't even say sometimes, I feel like we often need the encouragement and the reminder and pointing out to ourselves the evidence in our actual lives that we are doing something different, that we are making changes, that we are growing. If we don't acknowledge the evidence, then our brain has nothing to work with. So stop and acknowledge even the small things that have changed, so that you can give yourself the support, the momentum, the encouragement, the evidence that you need to keep going and know that you can do it and you're making progress. So claps, I can't clap. Clapping for myself and encouraging you all to do the same.